My brother secretly dated my ex of 5 years behind my back. Now he's kicking me out to live with her, saying she needs him more than I do. Plus one shocking update. My ex, Cassie, and I were together for 5 years. We started dating in high school, stayed together through college, and moved in together after graduation. I have been in love with her since before our first date. She's amazing. I still think so. We were talking about marriage and starting a family soon. Then one day, a few months ago, Cassie sat me down to talk and said she decided she doesn't want kids. She didn't just mean not now, but not ever. She talked a lot about overpopulation or climate change, but I was just immediately depressed. I've always wanted to be a dad. My own dad was a piece of garbage, and being a good father is something I've wanted to do ever since I was a kid myself. When she finished talking, I told her it was over. She started crying, and I was already crying, but what else could I do? If she doesn't want the same things from the future, there was no other choice. She said she's been thinking this way for years, and the pandemic was the last straw. I knew I couldn't wait around and hope she changes her mind when she might not. So I moved out and moved in with my best friend Ryan. We've been friends forever, since we bonded over Pokemon cards at the playground. He's basically my brother, and his mom was my extra mom since I didn't have much at home growing up. I was in a hurry to move out, so I didn't take much stuff with me. I didn't want to go back to the apartment and see Cassie, so Ryan was doing the good friend thing and going to get stuff for me whenever I needed it. At least, that's what I thought he was doing. Yesterday would have been me and Cassie's 6th anniversary, and it was a really rough day for me. I told Ryan I didn't want to be alone and wanted to just hang out and game all day with him. He agreed, but he was kind of distracted on his phone a lot. After a couple of hours, he said something came up and just left me there alone. Things got really dark. I'm not ashamed to say I cried. There were reasons I didn't want to be alone that day. Almost midnight last night, Ryan finally came home and was acting weird, so I asked what was up. I thought maybe his mom was sick or something, but no. Ryan sits me down and tells me he's moving out. He's been secretly dating Cassie since a few weeks after we split. He says they're in love already and that she needs him more than I do, so he's moving into the apartment with her and leaving me here alone to rot. I don't even know how to process this. I don't know which one of them has broken me more. To make things worse, I messaged some of our other friends this morning to tell them what happened, and they already knew. When I got upset, they all said it was no big deal because I'm the one who broke up with Cassie. Where do I even go from here? I can't talk to my friends. My ex broke my heart. My best friend stomped on it, and the closest thing I have to family is gone because they were his family too. I feel lost and don't know where else to turn. Then things got even worse. Ryan texted me. I was about to be homeless in a pandemic. My inbox started blowing up with messages, but I was so focused on the housing thing first. I promised I'd catch up when I could. Update, it's been a few weeks, and I debated if I'd post an update. As my story blew up, I got a number of really terrible comments. People told me I was a worthless piece of garbage, that I should beat up my ex-girlfriend, or that I was probably some kind of horrible abuser who wanted to control her body. I also got a ton of love and support and private messages offering connections on housing. But since I was already in a dark and desperate place, those other comments really twisted the knife. I had to spend some time away not just fixing my situation, but also avoiding all of that negativity. For anyone out there who's in the middle of a tough time and thinking about posting your story, my advice is, don't. Wait until you have some distance, or it's just going to make things worse. One thing I want to clarify, I don't hate Cassie. I don't think she shouldn't move on. I don't blame her for dating someone else after I broke up with her. I do have a lot of anger still, but all that anger is at Ryan. That's it. Ryan is the one who lied to me and went behind my back, not Cassie. My post pretty clearly stated that I think Cassie is an awesome human being, and I still think so. We just wanted different things. So, for the actual updates. Shortly after I posted, Ryan texted me to say that he planned to give me a month to find somewhere else to live, but since I couldn't be happy for them, he wanted me out by Friday. Looking back on it, I kind of think this was his plan all along. Cassie's parents owned the apartment I lived in with her, so we only paid bills on it but no rent. Ryan's apartment was expensive, and his parents still paid some of his bills there. I suspect he was looking for an excuse to break his lease and get in on that free rent instead. But I have a place to live now. Reddit helped me out, in a weird way. A couple of days after I posted, a guy named TJ hit me up on Facebook with a link to my post asking if it was me. Shout out to TJ. We weren't close friends before all this, but he recognized some of the details. It turns out Ryan had lied to all our mutual friends about the situation. Apparently, he hooked up with Cassie for the first time about a week after we split up. He asked some of our friends what to do, and they all told him to make sure I was cool with it first. He then told them he had already talked to me and that I was happy for him. So, when I started freaking out a couple months later, my friends all thought I was going crazy out of nowhere over something I'd supposedly known about for months. Once they found out what really happened, I got a lot of apology texts. Some of them I've accepted, some are still on read. A couple of guys offered me a place to crash or help with moving, and I wound up staying with TJ, but only until I could find somewhere else. My days of living in places without my name on a lease are over. I learned my lesson there. I found a roommate looking for a place through Craigslist, and we signed the lease last week. I'm moving from TJ's this weekend. Ryan is blocked out of my life. I probably forgot some of my stuff at either his place or Cassie's, but it's whatever. I can get new stuff. I can get new friends. More than anything else, this situation made me realize the importance of having stable, independent housing and not counting on anyone else to do the right thing by me. I have to have my own back in life and not rely on others. That's about all I've got. It's nothing dramatic, I guess. No one was hit by a car, got pregnant, or turned out to be cheating. But I've never been so glad to have a roof over my head and a bed to come back to. I'm going to keep going from here, keep working on life, and I'm sure as hell going to be taking a break from dating. That's all there is to do.